we're live.
Haven't even had my second cup of coffee, and Russell Wilson's already thrown an interception this morning, which is just dope. Everything's just great right now. Jesus Christ. Denver Broncos let up one passing touchdown in the last 7 years. Takes 2 minutes today, though. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, that was a nice play. All right, this is distracting trying to do live with a game on, but good morning to everyone who's up at this hour. I'm not running on much sleep right now.
No.
Dude, yesterday was so bad. But I do have to say, when I recorded those YouTube videos last night, it was around like 7:30, 8 p.m. And at the time, things were absolutely horrible. Like, we were down like 8 units. But we did the bet of the day. Ole Miss ended up hitting after that. And then my second favorite bet was Baylor, and that hit too. It was still an awful day, don't get me wrong. But I had a little bit of a nice night slate to keep me off of the ledge suicidally. Yeah, so today, I actually, despite having such a bad October, I'm actually pumped for today. There's some bets I really like and some bets I really feel on the right side, but you know what? Who the hell knows this year? We're definitely live right now. I don't have it open on anything, so people are definitely listening.
Yeah, I mean, this is live.
All right, cool. All right, so let's start with the first game, Steelers at Eagles. And I'm on the Steelers, but this is not on the VIP ticket. Give me the Steelers plus 10.5. I'm pretty sure Sean and HA are going to tell you Eagles first half, and I don't even disagree with that at all. The Eagles are 6-0. They'll tell you that. So I'm just going to tell you a few positives for the Steelers that got me here. Kenny Pickett has handled pressure really well. Despite what your vision might be of the Steelers offense, Kenny Pickett's actually 9th in EPA per dropback under pressure and 5th when blitzed. He's a top 10 quarterback when you blitz this guy, when he's under pressure. And then aside from that, I don't even know how much pressure Kenny Pickett's going to be under. Honestly, I mean, I actually think he'll have some clean pockets to throw from. The Eagles pass rush is definitely good, but it's not elite. 11th in adjusted sack rate, 7th in quarterback pressure rate. And you got Kenny Pickett, who's obviously a young developing quarterback. He's getting better week by week. He's got weapons. And the Steelers offensive line, you wouldn't really know this because everything surrounding the Steelers has been pretty negative, but the Steelers offensive line is actually 9th in adjusted sack rate. Pittsburgh offensive line, they can't run block, but they've done a pretty decent job of protecting their quarterback. I don't think the pass game is going to be a problem for Pittsburgh in this game. The run game is a complete nightmare. Najee Harris, who knows if he's even healthy? I mean, he doesn't look good. He's only averaged 4 yards a carry once this entire season.
Jesus Christ. That's a real stat?
Once
oh my God.
4.1 yards per carry once. And that was against the Jets, I believe. That's it. And that's the weakness of the Philadelphia defense. The Eagles are a pretty well-rounded team, but you got to run the ball if you plan on beating the Eagles. Here's the thing. So the Eagles are all the way back at 23rd in run defense DVOA, right? That's the weakness of the Eagles. We haven't seen this since Kenny Pickett took over. We have yet to see the Steelers play a bad run defense. They played the Jets 14th, Buffalo 1st, Tampa Bay 11th, Miami 7th. The Eagles are 22nd. I'm sorry. So Philadelphia will be by far the worst run defense the Steelers have seen since the Kenny Pickett era started 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I actually think we'll see a good game out of Najee Harris, his first of the season. And 10.5 is a lot of points. I will not touch the first half because they're about to tell you how good the Eagles are in the first half. But I'll take 10.5 with the Steelers. Sean, why don't you second?
Yeah, I'm on the Eagles first half, -6. They've covered this number every time. And frankly, the only time it was even close was at Arizona. They've been blowing teams out in the first half. They have the best point differential. And over 70% of...
Hello?
My bad. My dog was whining, so I just let him out the room real quick.
Okay.
No, they're... I believe over 75% of the points they've scored this year have all come in the first half. Whether that's a coaching issue and then they get out-coached in the second half, is another issue where I think we're going to find out as the year goes on. Or are they taking their foot off the gas because they're up by 20 each game? That remains to be seen. That question will be answered as the season goes on. But nonetheless, I would never lay 10 here with the Eagles, and I'm an Eagles fan. I would never lay 10 here. The back door is always open with this team, but first half, Eagles is the best bet in the NFL going right now.
Yes, I agree with Sean. It's similar to a Dodgers run line-esque type of bet in terms of the cash rate. It just continues to cash right now. And if you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't play awfully in the first half, but there is a pretty significant difference in terms of DVOA. You see in the second half is kind of when the Steelers tend to pick up offensively and defensively, while the Eagles just are absurdly good. I believe first and second in DVOA offensively and defensively in the first half. So I have to ride with the first half spread there. But I don't know. It's a very interesting game. I think Pickett is a lot better than Trubisky, and I think he could keep this somewhat tight at the end of the game. But through the first half, I like the Eagles to clean up.
Let me ask you guys something though, because obviously I wanted to bet the Eagles first half too, and I still might tell you guys on it. Does it worry you that the Eagles are coming off a bye? Possible slow, rusty start?
No, I think honestly it just gave them more time to cook up some creative shit to fuck with Mike Tomlin and whoever their DC's mind is. Now I'm more confident.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, same. They're a veteran group.
Okay. That was what, because originally I had the flip-flop written down. I had Philly first half, Steelers full game, which is like, I love betting that, but like, if I bet that 10 times, I actually cash both, like maybe 2.
Yeah.
Do not have a high hit rate with that. They're just more like fun in theory. But yeah, so, that's how I would like to bet this game is, you suck, Denver. All right, next game. I can't even look at this.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to do yourself a favor, just turn that game off.
This game better stay under. I swear to God.
Okay.
All right. Patriots at Jets. Next game, please.
Yes.
Patriots at Jets. Okay, so for this one, all right. So for a second, humor me. Bear with me. I want you to remove the history. Pretend you don't know anything about the Patriots and Jets before this year, right? You're just looking at 2 football teams that have played, 6-7 games. It's a joke that the Jets are getting points at home in that scenario. If you don't know who Bill Belichick is, you don't know the Patriots are just 2 teams that you've watched play for 7 games. The Jets have won 4 straight, and they're not just squeaking by. These aren't New York Giants wins. They're beating teams' asses. 3 out of the 4 games on the winning streak were on the road. The only home game in there was against Miami, and they beat the doors off the Dolphins in that game. In all honesty, which Patriots win impressed you this year? Was it their 17-14 nail-biter win over the Mitch Trubisky Steelers? Was it the beatdown they gave the Lions when basically the entire Detroit roster was hurt? The Cleveland game was impressive, but, they barely even outgained the Browns in that game. Cleveland gave them 4 turnovers. That's what the deciding factor was in that game. Where was the impressive performance from the Patriots? I'm not seeing it to be favorites on the road. They can't stop the run at all. New England's 28th in the NFL in run defense DVOA. They just got rolled by the Bears at home on primetime national television. On paper, the Jets are the best football team the New England Patriots have seen this year by far. Here are the defenses New England's seen. Ready? Detroit 31st, Cleveland 28th, Green Bay 25th, Miami 20th, Pittsburgh 14th, Baltimore 12th, Chicago 15th. The Patriots haven't seen a top 10 defense all year. The Jets are 10th. This will be by far, well, not by far. This will be the best defense Patriots have seen all year. Jets defense is also balanced. It can defend the run well. It can defend the pass well. So if you remove the Belichick versus the Jets equation, the Jets are the obvious pick here. But, I mean, it is Belichick. But, and also, I know a lot of people are on the under, so I'm actually on the over. They're trying to go fade the public there. But so I'm on the Jets plus 2.5 and the over. And I'm pretty sure Sean's on the opposite side of both of those.
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely on the under here with 2 top 10 defenses in terms of DVOA. And then I totally get everything you just said. The Jets on paper have been a way better team than the Patriots so far this year. But now they're missing Breece Hall, who has been their best offensive weapon by a large margin this year. And they're already hurt at the tackle spot. And now they're without Elijah Vera Tucker at guard in this one. I just don't see a recipe for success for this Jets team to find find the end zone versus this Patriots defense. And then on the flip side, the Patriots defense, they benched Mac Jones after 4 throws last Monday. So even though he's starting today, who knows if we're not going to see Zappy. I don't trust his Patriots offense to score that many points either. And they're also going to be without their starting center, David Andrews. So versus this front for the Jets, I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Patriots offense as well. But the Patriots are a healthier team. And I think as the season closes, we're going to find out that they're the better team as the season goes on. So under a field goal here versus a banged up Jets team, I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah, so I wanted to take the Patriots here. I take a lot of reading into the history of matchups, especially when the team has beat the other team 12 straight times by an average margin of victory of 21 points. But guys, this Patriots team is just flat out dysfunctional right now. Dysfunctional. The quarterback situation, that shit is a joke. That should have been handled in-house. It looks terrible right now. And quite frankly, I don't know if Mac Jones is going to be this confident going into this game. I could go out there and whoop the Jets' ass. He hasn't looked great at all this season. Not once. At any point throughout the season has Mac Jones looked good. Now he's going to be facing guys like Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed on the outside. I think that's going to cause a ton of issues. And most importantly, while I think Zach Wilson may struggle, I really do think Michael Carter gets it going on the ground this week. He's had some struggles as of late. What the fuck are you reacting about? How am I supposed to give my point when you're acting like a clown?
First and goal on the 1. Trevor Lawrence throws a pick in the end zone.
Let's go.
At first, I was like, Russ must be cooking, but that makes way more sense that it was the Jaguars doing something wrong.
Oh, that's disgusting, Trevor. Oh, Trevor, no. It's an ugly one, too.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, closing point, essentially, I just think that the Patriots are playing some very sloppy football right now. Last week against the Bears was the perfect spot in terms of a matchup for them to kick that team's ass, and they got embarrassed at home. Embarrassed. Some would say it's the perfect bounce back spot. I think the Patriots are frauds. Give me the Jets plus 2.5.
Solid pick there, Prop Beaver.
Over under half a camera wire hit tonight or today.
Yo, I mean, the thing with that play was, it might have hit the wire. Dude was covered as hell. How is that ball going to get there if it doesn't hit the wire? Well, whatever. Me and Sean are definitely on the same side of this one. And actually, this started as a lean, Sean, but actually the more I looked at it, the more I'm starting to love the Falcons here. I'm on Atlanta -4. And this is just the perfect timing for this game for an Atlanta bet. Because the Panthers just had a decisive, dominant victory over Tom Brady, right? Shocked the world. Everyone's like, are the Panthers not that bad? Blah, blah, blah. Not that the public really values Carolina, but they're like, if there's a high point of the Carolina Panthers stock, it's right now. Meanwhile, the Falcons are coming off an ugly loss against the Bengals. So the Falcons stock is sitting pretty low. Now, I realize what I just said can also be said about the Jets-Patriots game. Jets stock is super high, Patriots is low. I get that. But the thing was, I think the line is off in that game. I think the Jets should be favored. The line in this one seems pretty on point to me. The one thing that would scare people off Atlanta would be the Panthers' run defense, right? But check these stats out. This, AJ, after you left last night, I found some good stuff. Check this out.
Okay.
So the Panthers' run defense, right? Carolina's pretty much bad at everything except defending the run, and that's what the Falcons do. So that's going to scare some people off Atlanta. But, well, hold on. It's not like Atlanta's been playing. Hold on. I just want to make sure I get the numbers out in the right order. It's not like Atlanta has been playing cupcake run defenses, though. The Falcons have played the Rams, the Bucks, the Bengals, the 49ers. That's 4 defenses all ranked in the top 11. Yes, I realize the 49ers were hurt in that game. 4 defenses inside the top 11 of run defense DVOA. So, yeah, the Panthers may do a decent job defending the run, but all of the Falcons' opponents so far do a decent job of defending the run. If you take the bottom 13 run defenses in the NFL, almost half the league, take the bottom 13, the Falcons have only played one of them, and that's Cleveland. Everyone else is 19th or better. So why would I be worried about the Panthers' run defense against the Falcons when the Panthers is the 5th best run defense they've seen so far? Like, they've beaten teams with better run defenses. Also, the other side of the field when the Falcons are on defense, I know everyone's down on the Falcons' defense, but again, look who they played. Want to know the only offense in the NFL that the Falcons have played that isn't in the top 20? The Rams, the Super Bowl champions. Every other offense they've played is in the top 20. So, to recap, as far as the Falcons' opponents go, Carolina will be by far the worst offense, the second worst defense only to Cleveland. Atlanta's 3-4 in first place in the NFC South. They're at home, and this will be by far, by miles, the worst opponent they've seen this season. Falcons by at least a touchdown. I'll lay the points.
Sean, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'm on the Falcons -4 as well. With Sauce, he hit on a lot of great points. Yeah, it's a perfect buy low opportunity in my opinion for Atlanta, and a perfect sell high opportunity for Carolina. The only thing that scares me in this game is the Falcons secondary is going to be without why am I blanking? AJ Terrell. Their best corner. I was almost said Terrell Davis. But they're going to be without AJ Terrell, and their secondary is already bad. Ranked 32nd in the NFL in yards per game. But it's PJ Walker on the other side, so that doesn't really worry me that much. Threw a couple touchdowns last week versus the Buccaneers, but that's not a guy you can count on a week-to-weekend basis to get it done here. And then this is the game of the week, guys. We're not hyping this up enough. Winner of this game is in first place in their division. But give me the Dirty Birds here.
That's a sad story.
That is like the most unfathomable shit I've ever heard. That's a real stipulation for this game.
This is the game of the week. Game of the week right here.
That is
a delay a game. Nice, Denver. A delay a fucking game.
Hey, one thing you can't take away from Denver is that clock management. I'm gonna go with Atlanta here with the -4. I very much agree with you guys. I think Sauce, you actually made a fantastic point about that, because that was the one thing I was scared about here, Carolina's rush defense. But if they're still covering the spread against better offenses and better rush defenses, then it's really hard to fade the team that's 5-1 against the spread here, 2-0 against the spread at home. And last season they were particularly bad against the spread at home, so I think that positive regression is hitting right now pretty hard. Meanwhile, the Panthers have been like not only one of the worst teams just straight up against the spread overall, but on the road they are wicked horrible. So I'm gonna go with the Atlanta -4 here. Let's go with the against the spread Kings.
Yeah, ATS Kings. All three of us on Atlanta. I love it. Let's go Birds. I actually don't know what side Sean is on this one, because he left this one blank. He said, I'm waiting for injury reports, so what the hell? Because what the hell in our notes. So we'll see what he's taking. I am all over the Saints, and I like the over as well. Over 49.5. Has that changed? It was 49.5 last night. I haven't checked this morning. Let me check real quick.
That was the constant line.
48.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 48.5, so I'm getting an extra point. Don't like that movement, though. But that's a little scary, actually. There you go. D-Up. So to start off, for the over, check this out. So the Raiders this season are 5-1 to the over. The Saints are 5-2 to the over. Combined, these teams are 10-3 to the over. So if that's not worth a half unit, what is? Like, both teams are just over machines. As far as picking a side, I'm definitely on the Saints, like I said. I don't think people realize how good this Saints offense has been at home recently. Look at their last 3 home games. Look at their home games since Dalton took over, and there's 3 of them. 25 points on the Vikings, they covered. 39 points on the Seahawks, Travis fucking Etienne. 39 points on the Seahawks. They won that one. And 26 points on the Bengals. They should have covered, but no one tackled Jamar Chase in that game.
That was an annoying game. We literally covered wire to wire, and then in the last 4 minutes
on a stupid missed tackle. They were They were playing for a field goal. Whatever. The Saints have not scored less than 25 points in a game since Andy Dalton took over. 4 football games have not scored less than 25 points once. And you might be thinking, well, who did they play? Minnesota's defense, Cincinnati's defense, Seattle's defense, and the Cardinals' defense. Yeah, Cardinals' defense isn't good. Minnesota's is underperformed. But what do all those 4 teams have in common? They all have better rated defenses than the Raiders. The Raiders' defense hasn't shown us much, basically nothing. The pass rush is still rated one of the worst in the NFL. Their star edge rusher, Max Crosby, 6 sacks so far in the year. 4 of them came against the Broncos and Chiefs. And that's kind of what I think about the Raiders. They're overvalued. I don't think this is a good football team. Think about it. They played well against Denver and Kansas City, those 2 division rivalry games. And they beat up Houston at home, who has such a pathetic run defense. Anyone who run the ball. One sec, get him. Okay, 3rd and long. Sorry. So anyone who can run the ball can beat up on Houston at home. So the Raiders have not won a road game all season. They're 0-3 on the road so far. Combine that with the fact that the Raiders are the most public bet on the board right now. I'm on New Orleans.
Yeah, I just think that personally, some of the issues with the Saints have been, pressure allowed. We saw the Cardinals blitz the Saints heavily, and Dalton just throw picks under pressure. And then on top of that, the Raiders' rush defense, yes, while it's good, look at what the Saints are doing with Andy Dalton sneakily. Go look ahead at the game logs. Look at how many points the Saints are scoring with Andy Dalton and with Jameis Winston. This offense is simply functioning better with Andy Dalton at the helm. And despite the fact that the guy threw like 2 pick sixes, another pick last week, it was horrendous. Look at the 3 previous games, 0 picks in those games. Andy Dalton was not making any mistakes whatsoever. If you saw what we tweeted out before that game, Andy Dalton is horrendous in primetime. One of the worst primetime quarterbacks in the modern era. Give me Andy Dalton at home, plus money, on a 1 p.m. slate. Nothing sounds more beautiful. What do you like, Sean?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, the pick sheet was blank for me last night. I couldn't find any info on who was actually in and who was out. The Saints are more clear on who's out. Obviously with Landry, Lattimore, and
Michael Thomas.
Yeah. But the Raiders, like, Waller still has to give it a go before the game to see if he's questionable. I actually would be shocked if he played. It just feels like if he has one little nick, he doesn't play.
Yeah.
So again, I don't feel comfortable about any pick in this game, but I actually do like the over here. As you pointed out, Dalton's been scoring a lot of points here with the Saints. And then this Raiders offense, I believe, can have success versus the Saints D. But I don't trust either team here, honestly, with the spread. So I'm just going to tail Kyle with the over here. He talked me into it. And I'm going to root for some points.
Sounds good. All right, Cowboys.
This will take 2 seconds.
This one, yeah. I mean, you guys probably already watched the video I have on YouTube, so this will be quick. Just don't see how Justin feel. I'm on the Cowboys minus 9.5. I think it's back to 9.5. By the way.
Okay, I like that much better.
Let me check. Nope, still at 10. I lied.
Okay.
Still at 10. Give me 10. So yeah, I just don't see how Justin Fields converts on passing downs. I showed you in the YouTube video the practical joke disparity between the Cowboys pass rush and the Bears pass protection. If you didn't watch that, go watch it. It's some cool numbers in there. And on top of that, we didn't even know this last night, AJ. I saw this last night after you left. The Bears just lost 2 starters on their offensive line last week. They're starting right tackle and they're starting left guard. Patrick, the Bears have by far the worst pass protection in the NFL by miles. And they just lost 2 starters. This just happened last week. This is like a joke. And the Cowboys defensive line, already so loaded, just added Jonathan Hankins. Now, is that a game changer? No. Does it mean anything for this week? Like it just happened? No, probably not. But it was cool to add in my notes. So yeah, I think this is a blowout. Cowboys minus the points.
Yeah, I simply put think the only way the Cowboys don't cover this number is if they do some Mike McCarthy-esque shit, which is possible. And they could just pass the ball here. Dak could struggle, and they won't cover the number. But I think that realistically, Tony Pollard has a hell of a game here against a very weak Bears rush defense. And I think Dak should finally cook for the first time this season. I mean, he's kind of had some tough situations. First week against a tough Tampa defense, and then off the injury, obviously is a weird situation, adjusting to that. So I'll give him a little bit of pass for the Detroit game. If this man doesn't come out and wipe his ass with the Bears, then I'm officially on fade Dak. What do you think, Sean?
All right,
Yeah.
Sean?
As an Eagles fan, I just have to say, hold up. We them boys. Lighting the 10 here with the Cowboys. I would bet this at 9.5. I would bet this at 10. I would bet it at 14. I would bet it at... This is going to be an ass whooping here. This is my favorite bet of the week in the NFL.
Yep.
That sounds dope. Cowboys minus 10. It is. Dolphins at Lions. I've switched teams. I switched twice. I was on the Dolphins originally. Then last night, briefly, I switched to the Lions. I'm back on Miami. The final numbers I looked at: Cortland Sutton first down. Let's go. Let's put something together here. All right.
It's hard to get pumped
so-
for that game.
So I'm not gonna say Miami is healthy.
We're getting pumped about first downs.
Yeah,
Dude, we're rooting for the Broncos offense. The first down's huge.
it's like a touchdown.
Yeah, there's only going to be 6 or 7 of them.
Oh,
So I'm not going to say Miami's healthy. They're definitely banged up, but it looks like from what I'm reading, most of the guys, if not all, that are listed as questionable is going to play. Terran Armstead and Xavier Howard being the 2 big ones. I want to take Detroit here. I really do, but I cannot get there with this Lions pass defense playing the way it is. The Lions defense hasn't played a decent game against the pass since week 2 against Washington. I thought they played Washington week 3. Was that 2? I wrote down week 2, so it's probably 2. But
I think it was
week 2. Yeah.
2.
No, it was week 2. Okay, I just
They
looked.
played
Okay.
the Jags and then the Lions.
So yeah, the Lions haven't played a decent game against the pass since week 2. And look who they're playing. A team whose literal entire football team revolves around 2 superstar wide receivers. This also is a Dolphins team that hasn't covered a spread in 36 days. Remember that 21-19 win over the Buffalo Bills? That was in week 3. That was the last time the Dolphins covered a spread. This is a team that needs one bad, and I think this is the perfect spot to pick up a real comfortable, good-looking win and cover. Get some positivity back in that Miami locker room. I know the Dolphins defense has been vulnerable to the pass, and that's a concern. They're back at 25th in pass defense DVOA, but they're 7th against the run. The Dolphins have played great defense against the run all year, and it's how perfect is that for this matchup against the Lions? This is a run-first offense. I'm on the Dolphins here, -4.
I'm on the Lions +4. I really like the Lions to produce offensively today, especially. And that's why one of my prop plays that I'm playing for today is going to be Golf over 1.5 TDs. That's at -125. And I'm playing that for a full unit. I actually love the value on it. The Lions at home, say what you want about this defense. They are absolutely disgustingly bad. It's pathetic. But they score points, and they score a lot of points. I mean, let's just look at some of their scores this year at home. 35, 36, 45. Oh, let's go back to last year. 37, 30, 29. This team has covered 6 straight times as a home dog. Now we get the Dolphins who, yeah, they won against the Steelers, but against a Steelers team that, in my opinion, isn't great, especially the defense. I'm a little bit disappointed with their offensive output. They should have put more points up on the board against that Steelers defense. And now you have Jared Goff, who's thrown, who's hit this total in 7 straight home games. 7 straight. You want to know what Miami's defense is in the red zone guarding the pass? They're 30th. 30th in red zone pass DVOA. They've allowed 4 of the last 6 quarterbacks they faced to hit this total. The only 2 who didn't, Kenny Pickett, rookie, Zach Wilson, very bad at football. So I think that Jared Goff can hit this line, which he continues to cash, and I think at -125, that's insane value. Do like the Lions to expose that Miami pass defense a lot.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said about the Lions offense. Honestly, I low-key like this over. I don't think I'm gonna play it because it's trusting the Dolphins and the Lions to get to 51 points. So I don't think I'm actually going to be on that, but I am on the Dolphins here. I'm laying the 4. Agree with everything AJ said about how bad the Dolphins defense has been, and I think the Lions can have success here. But when I look at this Lions secondary, and then I look across the field and I see Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, there is nobody in the building that's wearing a Lions jersey that can cover either of them. They both might go for 200 yards in this one. I expect an efficient game out of Tua, but not only should they be successful through the air with those two, the Lions' run defense is as bad as their pass defense, honestly. And I think you can actually have an efficient ground game out of Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert in this one. Mm-hmm. And then the Lions also, they're going to want to run the ball to open up the pass. That's why their offense has slowly kind of died down here. They've scored 6 points combined in the last 2 weeks without DeAndre Swift. But this Dolphins front stops the run. They are 8th in rush yards given up per game. So if they're able to stop the run, then it falls on Jared Goff's shoulders to try to keep pace with this Dolphins offense. And I just don't see it happening. Fins up.
Fins up is right. Let's go fish.
Nah, but
Fish.
Dude, fuck you. First of all, they're the Finns. Second of all, it's the wrong pick. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I see points for both sides. I think it'll be a great game.
Yo, the refs are literally shafting us with these spots. Like, he 100% had that.
I don't think the players are doing us any favors either.
Oh, yeah, back it up some more. Good thinking.
Okay, on to the Cardinals Vikings.
All right. All right, so I'm on the Vikes, Minnesota, minus 3.5. And yeah, similar to the Giants, the Vikings record is way better than the numbers indicate it should be. The Vikings are just 14th in offensive DVOA and 24th in defensive DVOA. That doesn't exactly sound like a 5-1 team. But wins are wins, and the Vikings have won 4 straight. Now they're coming off a bye into a home game where they're undefeated this season. They're 3-0, completely unbeaten at home. Analytically, I could see how someone would think Arizona matches up well with the Vikings. Arizona's defense is completely awful against the pass, but it's actually top 10 against the run. And if you go by efficiency stats like DVOA or even just yards per carry or yards per pass attempt, if you go by those kind of stats, the Vikings come off as a rushing offense because Minnesota's run numbers look a lot better than their pass numbers. But the Vikings are 6th in the NFL in pass play frequency. This is 100% a pass-first offense. I don't care if they've been more efficient running the ball. They pass the ball a lot. And Arizona is really bad against the pass. This is a real nice matchup for Cousins. Coming off the bye, not in a primetime spot, the 1 p.m. slate. I think Cousins has a big day throwing the ball, most likely to Jefferson, but of course it could be KJ Osborne or Thielen as well. So I'm on the Vikes minus 3.5.
Yeah, so you said a couple names there. None of them were Irv Smith Jr., so that's curious. Irv Smith Jr. over 29.5 receiving yards and over 3.5 receptions. I really love the value on this. I will continue fading the Cardinals against tight ends until they force me to stop, because everybody and their mother's cashing the totals. It has now been, wow, I think Sean just cut out. It has now been 7 straight tight ends that have cashed their receiving total against the Cardinals. 7 straight. 6 of those 7 cashed the receptions total too. And Irv Smith's hit both of them his last 3 of 5 games. I think that the Cardinals are going to heavily focus on shutting down Jefferson like they have done with most wide receiver ones this season. And we're going to see Irv Smith Jr. in the flats feasting. So I really think that there's a ton of value on that at plus money. And then for my spread pick, I'm going with the Vikings minus 3.5. It's my single favorite play of the day. I understand why there are people on the Cardinals. What the hell was that? Cardinals. There's definitely plenty of reasons to do so, but you're giving me Call of Duty Kyler on the road against 1 o'clock Kirk? Are you serious? You want to talk about mismatches? That could be the biggest mismatch on the board. Give me the goddamn Vikings.
Sean loves Call of Duty Kyler in this one, am I right?
Oh, yeah. Hashtag Kyler covers.
Let's go!
You guys make great points with the Vikings. but only one thing. You're wrong. Give me the Cardinals plus 3.5 here. Give me the Cardinals on the money line as well because they're going to win this game outright. This Vikings defense is very fraudulent. This Vikings team in general is very fraudulent. They are 5-1. They've played one good team and they got shellacked by the Eagles in Philly on Monday night. I thought week 1 was a quality win for them versus the Packers, but now fast forward here, Packers stink. That's no longer a quality win. And then their last 3 quarterbacks they've played, Teddy Bridgewater, 93.9 quarterback rating with a completion percentage just under 70%. Justin Fields completed over 70% of his passes with the 118.8 quarterback rating. And then Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, a 108.6 quarterback rating with an over 70% completion percentage as well. Kyler just got DeAndre back. They're working Robbie Anderson back into this offense. James Conner is out for the Cardinals, which I think actually benefits them. Edmonds, in my opinion, is the better, more explosive running back. I think this Cardinals defense, their numbers are a little doesn't tell the whole story because they're finally getting healthier now in that secondary. I like the Cards here in this one. And for the record, I think the Cardinals stink. I hold a few units on them minus under 8.5 wins, but they get it done here.
Is Kyler covers with a K really a hashtag, or did you just make that up?
I personally
been saying it, but I thought it said Kyle Corvers at first.
Final score: Vikings 27, Cardinals 12. Next game.
Bing bong.
Actually, I actually like what Sean said about Arizona's offense, though. So like that, Sean was making a case for the Cardinals, but actually he kind of talked me into an overplay because I like the Vikings offense against the Cardinals defense. So I kind of think I'm going to play Vikings in the over now because what he did just make a couple good points about the matchup between Cardinals offense. He's wrong as fuck, but
yeah, I mean, if you look at recent matchups between the two teams, they've actually been quite high scoring as well. So that makes a lot of sense. Let's move on to the next game. Wow. Talk about 2 premium fucking quarterbacks. Davis Mills, Malik Willis. Let's do it. Who we betting?
Someone in my fantasy league's team name is Malik My Willis. So whenever I see his name, I laugh. So I'm off the Texans. I know when you left, Prop Beaver, we agreed we like the Texans. No, I'm on Tennessee. I'm going to start off with the reason we were on Houston. The Houston Texans have covered the spread in 7 of their last 8 home games against the Titans. So in the last 8 home games against Tennessee, Houston's 7-1 against the spread. So that right there had me starting on Houston. And what I was doing was kind of searching for numbers to keep me there. Problem was I didn't find many. That line movement, it's dropping again. And I know that the Houston is now favored, and I know the book's moving that should make me want to bet Houston. They're moving it for a reason. But no, I mean, 3 points because Tannehill is out? Do you guys even like Tannehill? The public hates Tannehill. And the line's going to move 3 points because he's out? I mean, judging by the way the public treats Tannehill, you think the line would move the other way when he's out. Like, oh, I actually like the Titans now. I'm not saying Malik Willis is better than Tannehill, but I'm saying Tannehill hasn't been good. So Derek, you want to know Derrick Henry's? I'm sure you've heard this. If you turned on ESPN, you've heard this. Derrick Henry's last 3 games against Houston, he's averaging last 3 games 224 rush yards and 2.3 touchdowns per game. That's per game. He's got 700 yards and 50 touchdowns in the last 3 games against Houston. He owns the Texas run defense. Josh Jacobs just had a $143 and 3 touchdowns rushing against the Texans last week. Anyone can run on this team. Derrick Henry is their worst nightmare. Do you remember when I brought up the Bears pass protection in the YouTube video last night, and I showed you just how far in Yes. Good. Dropping passes now. Things are falling apart. It's 10-7, by the way. Jerry Jeudy scored a touchdown.
Okay.
So anyway, so remember when I brought up the numbers to show you how bad the Bears were in pass protection this year?
Yeah.
That's how bad the Texans are in run defense. So much worse than any other defense in the NFL. And by the way, the Titans defense, 3rd in the NFL in run defense DVOA. You don't run on the Titans right now. Dameon Pierce is going to have trouble, which means Davis Mills is going to have to win this game with his arm. Davis Mills is going to have to outduel Derrick Henry in this one. I can't believe we're getting the Titans as underdogs, honestly. And it's not even crazy public play. I mean, the public is slightly leaning towards Titans, but it's not crazy. I think this is a gift. I'm taking the Titans plus a half point. Sean?
Yeah, I put in the pick sheet that I am waiting until kickoff, and I'm going to try to get the Titans money line at plus money. Whatever the money line is, I'm taking the Titans, unless the spread has better value, but I can't imagine it. That being the case, Houston, you have a problem. Not only are you going to lose the World Series, but now you have to face Malik Willis season here. The Titans' game plan, I don't know how this line switched so much. The Titans' game plan with Tannehill was to hand the ball off 25 times and let Derrick Henry eat. Their game plan now with Malik Willis, hand the ball to Derrick Henry 25 times and let him eat. Like, nothing changed in this one. I expect them to still be able to do that. I can't agree with this line movement at all. Give me the Titans here.
So
Derrick Henry owns the Texans.
Yeah, my bad. My bad for interrupting. So you guys bring up the Derrick Henry stats, right? How many of those games did the Titans cover?
I believe 1 out of 3.
Zero. They covered 0.
No, they covered the one in Tennessee, didn't they?
No, they covered 0 of them. They've covered 0 of their past 3 games against
sure?
the Titans. I'm on Stat Muse right now. They've covered 0 of their past 3 against the
Oh, I'm on
Titans,
Stat Muse.
despite allowing Derrick Henry to literally gouge their eyes out. Now you're going to take out A.J. Brown. You're going to take out Ryan Tannehill. You're going to take out anybody with any resemblance of talent on the Titans offense, and besides Derrick Henry. And I simply have to take the Texans. Kyle, what have I been saying to you all year? And I'm a little disappointed right now. What have I been saying to you all year?
That you're a cook.
No. Whatever you're going to say, shut up. You take the AFC South curses. You bet the AFC South curses. They've hit every single one of them in terms of history with the matchup has hit every single one. Now the Texans have covered their last 7 to 8 against Titans at home. Give me the Texans. That is easy. I'm also going to add onto this Derrick Henry over 104.5 rushing yards.
So when the Titans win 19-3, are you going to tweet out, "I'm a fool"?
I'm going to tweet out, "I'm a fucking king."
Because I lost 19-3.
Yeah.
All right. Next game. Oh man, I need sleep. I'm running on about 2 hours of sleep. I refuse to have another Sunday. I'm not going to miss one single number. All right, so I'm on the Commanders in this one. I think it's at 3 though, AJ. I'm pretty sure it's at a full 3 when I checked this morning. Yeah, it's at a full 3. So I'm on the Commanders in this one, but I gotta admit, it's a little scary that how many people are on the Commanders. It's pretty public play here. And I'm not as crazy about it as I was earlier in the week, but I'm definitely on Washington. I'm also on the under at 39.5. So I'm going to play the under here as well. So the reason that the public's on Washington is simple. They've actually looked pretty solid the last 2 weeks. They've won 2 games in a row. The defensive front looks great. And finally, we get some news on the Chase Young situation. He's not going to play this week, but he should return to practice next week, which is awesome. Washington morale's got to be pretty high. I mean, I feel like dude hasn't played in 6 or 7 years at this point. That's nothing. I don't know why I even said that. That has nothing to do with this game. But Chase Young's coming back. Cool. All right. Washington is 4th, even without Chase Young. Washington's 4th in the NFL in run defense DVOA. You don't run the ball on the Commanders. You can throw the shit out of it, but you don't run the ball against the Commanders. Come on, man. You don't run the ball against the Commanders. Culture without Matt Ryan. Sam Ellinger is starting. There's never been a situation in Colts history where they needed to rely on the run game more than this game. And they're going up against a badass run defense. It's a terrible matchup. That's why the public is heavy on Washington, because they got it right. The flip side of the coin would be everything I just said about Washington's defense giving the Colts a hard time. Take a look at the Colts defense against Taylor Heineke. Shaq Leonard's back for the Colts. How's Washington going to move the ball? Ryan Robinson looks good running the ball, but he hasn't had much space to work with at all. Washington's offensive line is bottom 7 in the league in pass protection and run blocking. This Colts defense is really good. So the matchup sucks on both sides. To me, it really comes down to which quarterback do you trust more. And I've seen Heinicke make some plays, man. He's got way more NFL experience. We saw Sam Ehlinger carve up some defenses. But who doesn't carve up defenses in the Big 12, man? I'm watching Texas Tech fourth-string quarterbacks hang 60 in the Big 12. I don't trust Sam Ehlinger, even though I did cast a lot of bets with him in college, and I like him. There's a special place in my heart, but I really can't see him scoring points on the Washington Commanders defense in the NFL, at least not right now. Give me Washington +3 and the under. Sean?
Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders money line here. This is just a game where there's so much volatility. I'm always going to take the plus money in a situation like this. No data that I could give you for the Colts offense matters anymore because we've never seen Sam Ehlinger play in this. So I'm just going to keep it simple. I watched probably every snap Sam Ehlinger took in college. Never once was like, that guy's an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Won a lot in college, but he's not an NFL quarterback. He's like if you had Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts sucked. So I'm gonna take the Commanders here. He's not a great passer, but he can get it down on the ground, which is what Hurts wants to do. So I mean, it's if you order Jalen Hurts on Wish, you get Sam Ehlinger. But so I'm gonna take the Commanders here at plus money. I have to in a game with this much volatility. I always take the plus money.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard to talk me off the Commanders here. I just really think the Colts offense, if you thought it was bad with Matt Ryan, just fucking wait, because this guy's never seen real NFL snaps. Now he has one of the worst pass protections in the entire league. He's going to have essentially no run game to support him because Jonathan Taylor, A, has looked like shit, and B, the line has been dreadful. So he's not going to have room to run. He's not going to have time to pass. It sounds like he's going to have to make every single play for this team. And if you're asking Sam Ehlinger to make the plays with his legs that you need to win this game, then honestly, that's not a team I could bet on. I'm going to bet on Washington. I think Terry McLaurin yet again gets cooking here.
All right, we're all on the same page there. Next game, players.
Okay, 1 sec. Oh, I love this.
Let's go. The Rams are winning this game. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm bringing up my notes. I was just gonna ramble and not bring up my notes, but that just sounds foolish. Not only do I like the Rams, I got another bet for you guys that I love. 49ers team total under 20.5 at +100. Plus money on that one. Everyone's on the 49ers. 90% of the bets are something, 87% of the money, and the line continues to drop. The books love the Rams today, and so do I. I know Jimmy G has had a ton of success against the Rams. I mean, shit, I was the ringleader of that. I was on YouTube like sounding the horn for that when we bet San Francisco in their first matchup. But this 49er team still dealing with injuries. Debo out. That fullback they love. Juice Chick? I actually never know how to say his name. They call him Juice.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. I call him Juice. Spelled terribly. Eric Armstead out. They're also missing a linebacker. So yeah, Bosa's back, and they also got a cornerback. Good for them. But overall, Jesus Christ. Overall, God damn it, Denver. But overall, the team still is. Jesus. Overall, the team still isn't healthy. Meanwhile, you know who is pretty damn healthy? The Rams. And I know that last year, coming off a bye, NFL teams weren't good against the spread. I say that all the time. I'm the one you probably heard that from. But I think for this Rams team, I think it's exactly what they needed. They kind of limped through the end of that Carolina Panthers game. I think they needed to get out of the spotlight. That Super Bowl hangover narrative was probably getting pretty old. Probably pretty annoying to keep getting the same questions from the media every single week. So I think to be removed from the NFL for a week, take a step out of the spotlight, let different teams take the headlines. I think that's the best thing this team could ask for. Now that they got a home game, they're at home in LA against their rivals and their underdogs. This is Super Bowl champions. Aaron Donald's about to cause a scene today. Keep in mind, The Rams, despite starting off pretty terribly, there's no second in the NFL in run defense DVOA. You don't run the ball on the Rams. So that means the pressure's on Jimmy G, missing two of his favorite weapons. Give me the Rams, baby. Rams and 49ers under. Let's go.
Yeah, I couldn't be more on the Rams with you. I firmly agree. This team's back is flat out against the wall, people. Take what you've seen so far and throw it out the fucking window. This is a team that is desperate, and if they don't win this game, I truly think they're in really, really big trouble. So this is a must-win for a team against a team that has beat them 8 straight times in the regular season. You don't think that the Rams are going to come into this game the most fired up they've been for a game all season? You're on crack. This is going to be a huge game. They get Van Jefferson back now into the mix, fully healthy, and that's huge because they haven't been able to stretch defenses all year. Tutu Atwell, every time the guy runs a fucking vertical, he drops the ball. Now you have Van Jefferson there, an experienced guy who could stretch the field. I think that makes a huge difference, especially with the losses in the 49ers secondary with Emmanuel Mosley. Give me the Rams at home. I love it, but before I end this, I got to do one more play. Give me Brandon Ayuk over 56.5 receiving yards. Stop playing with the boy. Stop fucking playing with the boy. Brandon Ayuk has 22 targets over his last 2 games. 22! That was with Deebo Samuel. Now Deebo Samuel is out. He plays a Rams defense that has allowed the second most yards per game to wide receiver ones. And guess what? They just faced Cooper Rush, Jacob Eason, and Phillip Walker the past 2 weeks and only allowed 220 yards combined passing. So what does that tell you about the other 5 games? They were getting lit the hell up by wide receiver ones. Brandon Ayuk is going triple platinum in this event. Give me Ayuk over.
I think Sean is with us on the Rams as well, I believe.
Yeah, when we were on the Chop, well, not we weren't on it, Kyle was, but we were in the comments of the Chop Sports Daily on Friday for their lean show. I said I was going to be on the 49ers, but I have come around. I am on the Rams. Have to be with this injury report. This Jimmy G, without everything perfect around him, is not a recipe for victory. He's not the type of quarterback that's going to pick up a team and carry them through bad circumstances here. And then this Rams problem, the problem with the Rams team is their offensive line. Given, I don't think it's going to be fixed all of a sudden in this game. I expect them to be able to get after Stafford. But Armstead not being in there is a huge loss for the 49ers front. But the flip side, this Rams defense is legit. 8th in DVOA, stout against the run. Now, Jimmy G, without his top weapon here, I just can't trust the 49ers to be able to put up points here. Everybody in the world knows Jimmy G's record versus the Rams and how he dominates them in the regular season. But guess what? Everybody in the world is also on the 49ers. That's not some, crazy stat like Verlander 0-6 in the World Series that he just found.
I was wondering when that was going to get brought up.
I got to be on the Rams here.
One last thing
nice.
I just want to say, look at Deebo Samuel's stats against the Rams. Now take that out of the 49ers offense. That couldn't be a bigger blow.
You're right.
He has nearly won them games against the Rams before. So,
and it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but Juszczyk will have 2 catches for 13 yards, and they're both huge third down conversions.
Exactly.
The most clutch plays in the game.
Yeah, so you take those out, and it's like, damn, is the 49ers offense going to be able to function against a Rams defense that's actually a lot better than people are giving them credit for? All right. Giants.
Beaver, moving forward, the comments that you have on Rotate, can you change that from 5 seconds to 8 seconds? Because I'm having trouble. I try to read them when they come up, but it's flipping too fast. So change that to an 8. Okay, cool. Giants at Seahawks. I'm not fading this bum-ass, trash-ass. I'm not betting this bum-ass, trash-ass Giants team. No way. I'm on the Seahawks right now. Everyone, nice play, Russ. Let's go.
He's dangerous. He's dangerous.
We need to get a field goal before half. 20 seconds.
All right. So why do you like the Seahawks? Clown?
So this happens a lot in the NFL. It happens in all sports, actually. People get a first impression of the team, and then they don't really follow the team's changing. So everyone's looking at the Seahawks, and they still think that they have a shitty defense, and Geno Smith is balling. That is like the opposite of how the Seahawks are playing right now. They are running the shit out of the ball, and they're playing some defense. Check this out. This is an entirely different Seattle team than you remember from week 1. Geno Smith's playing okay. He's playing okay. Seattle is a run-first team, and since Kenneth Walker took over, they've played 3 games. He's averaging 114 yards and over 1 touchdown a game. He's got 4 touchdowns in the 3 games that a starter. The Seahawks run game is explosive as hell. It's not really a grinded out 4 yards a clip type of run game. It's a big play, home run hitting run game. And the defense, people are still acting like the Seattle defense is bad. It was earlier in the season. Seattle switched out of the 3-4 2 weeks ago. They switched their defensive formation. Since then, look how running backs have done against the Seahawks the last 2 weeks since they switched. Against the Cardinals, running backs combined 18 carries for 44 yards. Against the Chargers, running backs combined 12 carries, 31 yards. So since they switched out of the 3-4 in 2 games, opponents' running backs have 30 carries for 75 yards against the Seahawks defense. I mean, this team is playing some D. Saquon Barkley's in for a long day. Giants flying across the country to play in front of a hostile, brutal Seattle home crowd that's going to be absolutely jumping. I'm on the Hawks, baby. Fade the Giants. Give me Seattle -3.
Yeah. So, Chiefs, I don't know if you've joined the Kenneth Walker train. If not, get some respect and join. But Kenneth Walker is a guy who I think will be a perennial top 5 fantasy pick, a guy who is a game changer at the running back position, and a guy you lean on to control your offense. Last 3 games as a starter, bro, he's averaging 6.8 yards per carry. That is disgusting. And not only has his efficiency been absurd, but he's going to face a Giants defense that couldn't look worse on the ground right now. Let's isolate just the last 5 weeks for the Giants rush defense. They're 31st in rush defense DVOA. And over the last 2 weeks, the Giants have allowed 2 straight 100-plus yard rushers. But listen to this. Neither of them even hit 15 attempts. You heard that correctly. Etienne and Kenyon Drake grabbed 233 yards on 24 carries against the Giants in the past 2 weeks. Good for 9.7 yards per carry. That is downright horrendous. Kenneth Walker should be able to crip walk up and down the field on the Giants defense. Give me the Hawks and give me Kenneth Walker. Sheesh.
No, to someone said Seattle is not missing Metcalf. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett expected to play.
And now with those guys on the outside, you can't bring a heavy box. With Walker? You can't do that.
I love a good heavy box.
I love heavy box. The heavier, the hairier, the better. Now.
Sean. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I'm on the Hawks -3 here. I completely agree with everything AJ said. Kenneth Walker, his nickname is K9, and it's fitting because he is a dog. He's going to run wild over this Giants front. And, dude, I might be broke by the end of the football season by fading this Giants team because they are horrible analytically, but just keep winning games. And I have to keep fading them. I don't have a choice. Like, this is what the numbers say to do. I don't know if you guys ever watched Breaking Bad, but like the scene where he's like, they can't keep getting away with this. That's me every week when the Giants fucking pull out a 2-point victory while getting outgained by 200 yards.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So maybe I'm broke. Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe we just all need to start blindly betting the Giants money line. But that being said, this Seattle team, as Kyle said, their defense has gotten better as the year goes on. This is not a bad unit at all. And Seattle's offense is 3rd in DVOA. Geno Smith is absolutely cooking, and now since they're out of Kenneth Walker, their running game is elite as well. Metcalf and Lockett healthy. I have no choice but to take the Hawks here, and I'm sure at 4:30 or 7 o'clock tonight, I'll be regretting a Giants 21-19 victory or something.
Another thing is what makes it worse is the Giants fans are like the lowest forms of humans on the planet. Dude, on the app, someone like tagged me in a post on the Sauce Network app and was like, yo, man, this is a crazy year in the NFL. And I responded. I was like, I know, man. The Giants are 5-1. This is last week. And even though they're one of the worst analytical teams in football. That's all I said. The Giants are 5-1, even though they're one of the worst analytical teams in football. Someone commented, you clearly don't watch Giants football. We are the... And goes on this thing like, dude, I was just saying a fact. was saying they're one of the worst analytical teams. I don't make the analytics up. I'm reading you them. Like, what the hell? What kind of crazy ass shit is that?
We just got a comment like that. The Giants don't care about your numbers. Cool. Who gives a fuck?
All right, last game. Packers at Bills. I mean, I guess Packers first half, if you like the Packers, would be your play. I'm not taking it. I'm on Buffalo. I have to stick to my promise here. I said on Twitter last week when we lost our Green Bay -4.5 bet, if you see me on YouTube talking about betting the Packers again, I give you permission to drive to New Jersey and scissor kick me in the jaw. I said those exact words, and I'm not trying to get scissor kicked in the jaw. I'm on Buffalo -10.5. I actually didn't even write notes for the game because I knew I was betting Buffalo. So, Sean, if you wanted to shed some light on this one.
Yeah, the Bills are the best team in football. They're number 1 in defensive DVOA, number 2 in defensive DVOA. Obviously have Josh Allen at quarterback. Defense is playing fantastic. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. And the Packers just look like one of the worst teams in football. I mean, I'm not ready to say Aaron Rodgers and his Packers team are like bottom 3, but I would say right now they are easily a below average football team. And I tried to outsmart myself on Thursday night. I was on the Bucs. I was like, Tom Brady has never been 2 games below 500 in his career. His back against the wall. The GOAT is going to show up. Guess what? He didn't. So I can't. Now this is Aaron Rodgers' first time ever being plus double digits in a game ever. So what do I want to say? I have to take Rodgers here. There's no way he doesn't cover this spread. Then I remember this Packers team is not the Packers team that we're used to seeing. They lost by 17 to the Jets. What is Josh Allen and this Bills offense going to do to this Packers team? I have no choice but to take the Bills here, because if I took the Packers and the Bills won by 20, I would hate myself.
All right.
Yeah. So
I think AJ's on Buffalo too. I actually think he really likes Buffalo, if I remember correctly.
I mean, are you kidding me? Every time the Bills win, they win by 10 or more. Just go check the game log. So that's the one thing.
One time in the last 2 years.
That was the Ravens game where they barely beat them.
Yeah.
But besides that, they beat the living shit out of teams. The Packers have shown zero respect for themselves, for the fans, for the city of Green Bay. I mean, Rodgers looks defeated out there. The first time he sees a legitimate pass rush, I mean, in the first 5 snaps of the game, he's going to throw a hissy fit, throw the ball to the side, and be a puss pop like he's been all season. I just simply put, the Bills are too good right now. Because if it was just that the Bills' pass defense was great and they had like an exploitable rush defense, then I could get behind the Packers and them pounding the ball with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. The Bills are first in adjusted line yards. They are just very good at everything. They're the best at everything. And the Packers are not even good at one thing right now. They're good at nothing. So I have to take the Bills at home to dominate the Packers. This isn't Aaron Rodgers. I'm not getting caught up again like I have these past 5 or 6 weeks betting on these old fucks who suck. I'm good. Give me the Bills.
All right. That's the last game. Now, I'm pretty sure both Sean and Prop Beaver both have a parlay to give out too, right?
Yeah.
I know Sean does. You have one too?
No, but I could cook one.
Oh, no. That's cool. We'll just give out Sean's. I have 2, but I'm saving them for the VIP because, trust me, after yesterday, the VIPs deserve it. Jesus.
They deserve a bloge and a warm towel.
Nah, everyone was cool about it, though, on the app. I think I got like 1 or 2 angry comments. Everyone was really cool.
We have some great people.
Which is nice.
We're very happy.
We also got 2 of the worst beats ever yesterday.
Oh,
I mean,
my
of course,
God.
Shit happens in betting, but literally the Ohio State gave up a meaningless touchdown in the final 2 minutes, and then TCU scored a meaningless touchdown in the final 20 seconds, and it all happened within a 30-second span.
That doesn't stop there. Our USC cover got busted with a touchdown with 1 minute left.
But when that happened on the noon games, I'm like, this is how Saturday's gonna go.
Yep. And then we lost on a last minute backdoor bad beat with USC. Then we had Georgia and Cal both lost by the hook.
Yep.
Can we get a goddamn break? But anyway, parlay it up for him so I can take a shower and grab another Red Bull because I'm about to pass out.
What's your parlay, Chief?
Yeah, Yeah, I'm calling this the Sean parlay because it's only 3 legs. I'm taking the Eagles first half, of course, minus the 6.5. I am taking the Dolphins minus the 4 here, gonna cook in Detroit. And then I'm taking the Cowboys minus 10 because they're gonna win that game by 700. And that parlay pays plus 601.
The Eagles first half, Dolphins, Cowboys minus 10s plus 601. Can you shrink that so they can see it on the screen? There, you're already ahead of me. Cool. All right. That's it. VIPs, it's all done. VIP tickets even done. I'm gonna add one more over.
Add Kenneth Walker to the
gotta-
ticket, please.
Over rushing.
Yeah, over 79.5 or a half unit. That's if we're riding with Seattle, that's how it's gonna happen.
Hold on, let me type it now because as soon as we disconnect, I'll forget. Over rush. Okay, got it. All right. So yeah, give me. Let's see. It's 11:05. Give me 10, 15 minutes tops for the VIP ticket. I just want to make sure I like typos and stupid stuff because there's a guy who flips out about typos.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, I hope everyone has a great Sunday. Thanks for watching as always. I'll talk to you guys later.
Redemption. Let's get it.